Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up with an awesome YouTube hop called the Telephone Hop. And I am copying or scrap lifting the layout you just saw, which is by the awesome Janet Heuser, I think is how you pronounce her surname, from Scrap in Time. Her layout will be linked down below. And what we're doing, as I said, is a telephone hop, which is kind of like what I would call Chinese whispers in Australia. I don't know if that's the name that others know the game by. But essentially what happened was there are 7 of us in this hop group, and we have all created a layout that was chosen by the first person, Brianna, in our little group. And so I don't know at this point, because we haven't seen everybody's layouts. I don't know if it's a layout that she's just created on her own, or if she's copied a layout or scrap lifted a layout from another YouTuber. I'm not sure, but essentially she was the first one, and then she passed it down the line to Vanessa, and then to Christy, and then to Janet Fritz, and then to Janet Heuser, and then to me, and then to Crystal, and that's where we ended. And so it is kind of like the Chinese whispers. So the layout that each person created gets passed to the next person in line, and then at the end we get to see the layout that everyone created and how much is the same or different from the first layout. So how exciting is that? And I think there's actually 3 separate telephone hops going. So I will also make sure that I can try and link to those that are happening as well. And so what happens is, over the span of a week, there are 3 videos that go live each day over the week, and they are following 3 different telephone hops. So we have videos going up from the 16th to the 21st of August. So how exciting is that? Mine's on the 20th of August, and then there's one more after me, which is Crystal. So check out her video tomorrow. Once it's gone live, I will have it linked in my description box, but I will also link back through to all of the previous telephone hops over the last 6 days or 5 days, and you'll be able to see where my inspiration has come from. So enough doing a weird job of explaining this game, but essentially you saw the picture of Janet's layout at the start, and so I am creating some kind of banner strips down the bottom, and I'm using the Indigo and Ivy. Is that what it's called? Indigo and Ivy? From Pink Paisley. Let me check what it's called. Yeah, Indigo and Ivy collection from Pink Paisley. I have to say I love the papers in this collection and the colours are lovely, but the ephemera pack is a bit meh. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't find that there's much in there that I can really use. There's not much at all in there. I feel like it's a very small ephemera pack. Anyway, quite disappointed with the ephemera pack. Really love the paper. So you can't win them all, can you? I don't mind the word strips, which I use a lot of on this layout. Bit different, so I don't mind them. But yeah, so back to what I'm actually doing. So I am creating banners, as I said, and I've got 5 pieces of pattern paper that I'm using to create banners along the bottom. This was kind of the inspiration that I took from Janet's layout that she sent me, as well as a lot of layers behind my photos and larger layers than I would normally do. And so yeah, that's where we're at. Sticking down all those layers is what I'm doing now, and I do add a lot of double-sided tape, probably more than I would need to. I do have an ATG gun. My sister gave it to me for Christmas, and I used 1 roll of tape and then I never refilled it. So I do have another 2 refills, I think. So I really do need to refill it, because I didn't mind using it, I'll be honest. I know it's a controversial tool. People either love it or not. I was one of the love-its, really, and I did find it handy. So I'm going to get that back out and working, actually. I need to do that. So there we go. I just trimmed the edges off my banners, and I'm really happy with how they are looking. I decided not to do the banner ends, I guess, if that makes sense, like the triangle ends, because I didn't want them. So yeah, I didn't do it. Janet on her layout also had this really cute little detail in the top left corner, and I thought that was cute, and I decided to add my own bit of something something up in the top. So I'm doing the kind of fold over corner thing. And so I added a piece of cardstock behind the corner, and then I folded over and just used my tiny attacher to staple the corner down. And I think it looks cute. I love the folded over corner. I think it's cute. I think it's super cute. So I pulled out some papers from the Indigo and Ivy 6x6 paper pad, and I'm just cutting off the branding strips. I'm not being particularly precise with this because I am going to create a lot of layers behind my photo. And my photo is just a cute photo of my partner and my son. I mean, if you've been watching our channel all year since I had my son in January, you will know you rarely see any other photos on my channel now. And that is for no other reason than, to be honest, I don't take photos of anything else apart from him anymore. Do other people with children, is that the same? Is it the same for everybody? Because I just feel like the only thing I'm taking photos of is my child, and then sometimes also of my partner with my child. Nobody ever takes any photos of me with my child, except if I take a selfie. I have asked my partner to take a couple of photos of me and my son together, and he's quite reluctant. He's not a photographer. He thinks I take far too many photos. He does like my layouts when I show him, but he thinks I spend too much time behind the camera, which sometimes, in all fairness, is probably true. I need to put the phone down sometimes and not take photos and just focus on being in the moment. And I'm trying to get better at doing that. But it is a tricky thing when you take so many photos. But I just need to take a couple of snaps and go, okay, I've captured that moment now. I don't need to take any more photos. Put my phone down and just be in the moment. So I am trying to work, I guess, on doing that a little bit more this year, particularly now that my son is 6 months old at the time of filming this, which is late July. So yes, he's 6 months old, and I think that the need to take a million photos a day of him has worn off a little bit, which is nice. And so I do try to snap, a pic or two a day, but only when he's doing something cute. Otherwise, I was looking back through my photos the other day, and I went, gee, I have a lot of photos of him sleeping. Is that something that I need a lot of photos of? Anyway, not the point. Back to the layout, Katie. Back to the layout. So I layered my photo. You missed that while I was rambling on about being in the moment. So I've layered all of the papers behind my photo, different sizes, and I've just used my scissors to trim them down. And then I added my title, which is So Much Love. I just thought that was cute because my partner is looking very lovingly at his son, and I thought it was cute. And now I'm going through the ephemera, thinking what I might use. I was trying to make a few different things work, like tags and whatnot. This little banner that says today, that label, is that what it's called, that sticks out? Anyway, that's just today. And I was thinking, like, I tried to make some clusters, but because the paper layers and the banners are quite busy, and I chose some pattern papers, I was really struggling to think about how I was going to make ephemera work on this. And in the end, I pull out some of the big chipboard word phrases and also the acetate ones that they had in this Indigo and Ivory collection. What are they called? They're just called phrases. Apparently there's 40 of them. And I pulled out the ones that were kind of relevant to the picture already, and then I thought, why don't I just use those as embellishments? So I did. So the ones up the top say, our love lives here, what our life looks like, and the story of today. The one around the title says, love this moment, you make me happy and you amaze me. And then the one under the photo on the right hand side says, my favourite things, you are my happy place and so very lucky. So then I did think that the strips did need something to kind of anchor them. So on the sticker sheet they had these banners, there was 2 of them. So I added one banner to the top left, and then I added another sticker banner above the title, So Much Love. And then there was an ephemera banner as well, same shape. And so I added that down underneath the bottom right of the photo. So I do create 3 clusters, I guess, but they're not particularly highly embellished. So I'm happy with how it all came together, and I think it looks cute. I think the photo size is just a 4x6, but with all the layers behind it is a lot larger than I would normally have done, and I think that did throw me a little bit with the embellishing, but I'm really happy with the word phrase kind of concept that I went with, and I think it did come together, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It isn't something that I would probably normally have scrapped, if that makes sense. But this was such a good challenge, and it really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I really enjoyed it. I think this was so much fun to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to if we do another one. I think it was super fun, and it was kind of cool just seeing everybody's different layouts. Not that I've seen them all, but I'm so looking forward to seeing them, and I've been watching along. Well, I will have been watching every day or the 5 days before mine, and I'll certainly be looking forward to watching Crystal's tomorrow because I can't wait to see them all kind of come together and see where we started and where we ended, and if we've kind of moved away from the original concept or if we've all stuck kind of really close. I'm really excited. I think it's heaps of fun. Oh, so I thought I would let you know that I actually stuck these phrase stickers down with double-sided tape. Yes, you can see it. It's not completely clear, but because the acetate has a coloured wash through it, and I made sure to stick the double-sided tape across the word, the text area, it's actually really... It's not very obvious that I've used double-sided tape, and I'm totally okay with it. You can see it, so if that's something that bothers you, don't use double-sided tape. Maybe get a sponge and use wet glue, because I think if you got a sponge with wet glue and you sort of sponged it over the whole piece, you wouldn't be able to see it, which would be good. But ain't nobody got time for that. So I just went with double-sided tape because that's what I had. And it is, yeah, you can see it, but it isn't particularly obvious. Now, I know what I'm doing off camera here. I am going through my enamel dots trying to find something that I could add, and I actually end up pulling out something that I haven't used for a long time, and they are a Stampin' Up product. It's old, you can't get it anymore, it's well retired, and they are called Twinkle Adhesive Backed Sequins. At least I assume they're well retired, I don't actually know. But the ones that I use, there's some silver ones in there, and then there's also like a white, what do you call it? Like reflective, it's like a sequin sort of material, I suppose. And it's got the reflective quality. It does reflect a little pink, but that fits with some of the pink elements in the papers. So yeah, I added a lot to this page, quite a lot. Much more than I would normally, but I think it looks cute. I'm happy with it. I should have added another 3 down on the bottom right hand side, because I added 3 lots of 3 in the top left, 3 lots of 3 around the title cluster, and then only 2 lots of 3 on the right hand bottom right. So that was a bit silly, and I only noticed that now as I'm doing the voiceover. But anyway, and then I absolutely go to town with this Heidi Swap Colour Shine in navy. I add a lot of it. Now it dries much lighter than it looks like on camera. And I've said this a million times, this is my favourite Heidi Swap Colour Shine. And I just think the colour went quite well with the colours in the Indigo and Ivy collection. So really happy with that choice. I could have used gold because it is gold in the word phrases, but I decided the navy was a better choice. And we are done. I do clean up because I did get splatters everywhere. Because I added so much, they did go everywhere. So it does take me a bit of time to clean up my desk. Again, I could do this once I've turned the camera off, but I like to do it straight away because it's so much easier to clean up. Hot tip. So there we go, all done. I hope you loved this. Please come back tomorrow to see Crystal's take on my layout. And yeah, see everybody else's linked down below. All right, guys, bye.